Hi guys, this week we're going to talk about our trip to Rovaniemi, which is in the northern part of Finland, in the region of Lapland.
Yeah, we went up there on Wednesday. It took 2 buses and a 6.5 hour long train ride to get there. And we got there, it's extremely cold compared to here in Finland. So that was like the first noticeably different thing about Finland.
It was very cold. Okay, so anyway, so we got there pretty late the first day. So the first day, really the only thing that we did was meet the person that, like, we were staying with, like, the director of our hotel. And then we went skiing, which was interesting because I've only ever been skiing once, and Sarah's never been skiing. So that was extremely interesting. Both of us fell down twice, I believe. Yeah,
it went better the more we did it, but it was a really fun.
Yeah, it was funny because the person that, like, gave us the skis and everything was like, okay, since it's your first time, you should probably go into, like, the little kid area. But there's a lot of adults too there, he said, who haven't been skiing before, but the problem is that all Finnish people have skied, it seems like. So we went there, and there was, like, a little tiny baby hill that was, like, that steep. And yeah, that was interesting. So we stayed there for like 20 minutes, and then we were like, nah, we got this. Got it. So then we went to a bigger hill, but, like, the ski lift was not the typical, like, ski lift that you would imagine, that, like, you get on the bench and then you jump off kind of thing. It was one of the ones that, like, there's, like, a hook thing. I don't know, it reminded me of the SpongeBob hooks. And they,
like an anchor.
Yeah, and it like goes behind your back and it just pulls you up. But we didn't exactly know how to, like, stand with it, so we fell down. And
terrifying.
It was terrifying. I was afraid somebody else was gonna, like, come ski over us, and then we were just gonna make a big pile.
We couldn't stand up, so it was awful. But we got it.
Yeah.
And at the end, it was good.
Good. It was so cold though, and it was so late.
It was so cold.
It was so cold. But yeah, skiing went fantastic. And now we're going to make all our friends in America go skiing with us at, like, the fake skiing resort in Missouri.
It was nice to go in real snow.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, and they're going to go with us, and we're going to know what we're doing, and none of them have gone skiing before, so we'll look cool. Yeah.
Perfect. The second day is when we went to the Santa Claus Village, which is, like, the highlight of the town. I'd say the biggest attraction.
Santa Claus.
The first thing we did when we got there is cross the Arctic Circle. They had a white painted line on the ground, and it had the coordinates, and it was like, now entering Arctic Circle. So that was really cool to actually see yourself stepping into the Arctic Circle. A lot of people haven't done that one. So that one was cool. And there's a lot of gift shops attached to the village that you can buy souvenirs and everything. And they have the, like, official Santa Claus post office
Which is so cute. You can write your kids little letters and then either have it delivered on Christmas Day of that year or right now from Santa Claus. Or you could pay €7 to get Santa Claus himself to write your kid a letter.
Yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah. We did neither one of those two things because we don't have children. But yeah, it was cute.
It was. They had a little, little building with like information about the history of it, which was really interesting to read. But it was extremely cold because that building wasn't heated, and it was negative 10 degrees Celsius outside, so it was a little cold. Just a little.
Yeah, that building was a traditional house of, like, the first people that lived in Lapland. So I couldn't think of the word. So that was actually really cool. That was one of my favorite buildings, actually. I made Sarah take a picture of me in front of the house, and it was freezing outside, but it had to be a perfect picture, so it's fine. So then we went inside actual Santa's house, okay? And I don't know about everybody else, but whenever I imagine like Santa's house, I imagine like candy canes and there to be a lot of red and white and like very light place, like
maybe like elves walking around.
Yeah, like little kid elves too.
Yeah, toys everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like that. It was like walking into a dark cave. Because the only thing at the beginning that was lighted was the floor. And so it's like walking over a bridge. It's actually like you're like walking on a bridge, but it's like that far off the ground, so it's not really a bridge. And then only the ground is lighted, and then you get further out, and they have like these interesting diagrams on the walls and just stuff that you wouldn't necessarily connect with either Santa or Christmas itself, which was a little interesting. But they, at the end, they did have like some gifts wrapped up and whatever, and then they just had like a lot of pictures of other people taking pictures with Santa Claus. That was interesting. Yeah, it was like a little touristy, I would say. And then you get to a door that said like Santa is in here, which was interesting, and it's actually a live television broadcast. So you go in and you're actually on TV, which is cool, and you get to meet him in like small groups. So like the two of us went together, and you can go and you get to meet him, and he's he says hi and everything, and then they take your picture, one that's like zoomed out and one that's just really of you that you can see. So at the end, you get to pick a couple options on what kind of pictures or videos that you want.
They are so expensive. All we wanted was one picture, just one, and we ended up paying $35.
But we have ridiculous. 5 of them now. Yeah. So that was cool. But so we got our official Santa Claus pictures, which is interesting.
We're so cute. But yeah, so we met Santa Claus, and he didn't really say anything to us. But that was cool. His the Finnish image of Santa Claus is kind of different than American. I don't know. I realized that later in the trip we saw Santa Claus again, and he had the coat on and everything, but whenever we got a picture with him, he did not have the red pants and the red coat and the black shoes. And
he actually had more of elf shoes instead of boots that we would traditionally see. It was kind of the elf shoes that had the curled tips.
And he didn't even have the ball at the end of his hat.
He did the second time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't you could definitely recognize who it was supposed to be. It was different. Than
it wasn't the stereotypical Santa Claus.
Yeah, not the American one. Well, it was probably the Finnish one. Yeah. So it was cool. It was interesting.
It was adorable to see the little kids so excited to visit Santa Claus. That was the highlight of actually meeting Santa Claus was the little girl in front of us meeting Santa Claus.
She was very excited. It was very cute. And they were really nice. So then we went around and explored more of the actual village, and we ended up at a Husky Farm, which I was so extremely excited for because I love dogs. There was 67 of them, and so we got.
She probably counted.
They said there's 67 of them. Anyway, so they
still have the same shirt on.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Go on.
So they had the actual dogs hooked up to a sled that you can be pulled around in. We didn't do that because we had no money. But we saw the actual dogs, and that was really cool. And they have
cute.
They have pictures of all the dogs in the cages, and they tell you which position they do on a sled, if they're the lead dogs or the team dogs or the anchor dogs. So they have really cool things about them, and they're really cute and friendly. So I liked it. Yeah. And then
after that, we tried to find somewhere to eat, okay? And we went into this building that's connected to Santa's village, but not actually connected. And we asked them hey, can we see your menu? And they were like, well, we're closing in half an hour, so no, pretty much. So then we left. And we ate, and then we went home. We might have walked 3 miles or 6 kilometers to a Hesburger, but you know what? It was worth it.
In total, we walked 7 miles that one day, so that was exciting.
Yeah. But then the next day, we decided that we wanted to go to Snowman World.
Which is in the village. It's in the same place.
Yeah, it's right next to the Santa Claus's village.
Yeah.
And that was actually, I don't know, like, it looks little kiddish and it sounds little kiddish, but it was so cool.
Really cool.
The entire trip to Rovaniemi, we were children. My English is going down in this trip. So, we went to Snowman World, and we didn't really know what to expect. I just knew that I wanted to go, and yeah. So, there's an ice hotel there, which is awesome. Like, the entire hotel is made out of ice, okay? It's like a big igloo-looking hotel. And there's actual beds in it. People actually stay in it. They have a movie projector set up in it. They have an ice bar, and it was kind of funny because the shot glasses are ice.
They're really cute. There's basically like a lot of ice and snow sculptures around, like on the walls, and they're humongous actually. They're really interesting. So I mean, really any age, I think the adults appreciate the actual sculptures themselves more, and the kids might appreciate that they're walking on ice or something. But it was really cute.
It was funny because the sign that said "Don't touch the sculptures" had the Statue of Liberty on it. I thought that one was a little funny. It was a little out of place. Yeah. But then you walk outside the hotel, and then there's this giant ice slide. And I realize again that is for children, but that involved us. So we went down the ice slide like 30 times because it was fun.
It was very like. It's not for little kids. They have a little kid one on the side, but this one, I mean, it went pretty fast. You like almost can go over, so it's a little scary, but it's really fun. You go down in the big inner tubes, so it was really fun. I liked it.
There was also like this like very vintage looking like sled that you could like get pushed around in, which is, I don't know, that was cool just to take pictures in the sled. And then we left Snowman World and we went and tried to look for reindeer.
We saw the reindeer.
Yeah,
reindeer were cute.
The reindeer were way too expensive to actually go see, so we stood by a fence and took some pictures of it.
We were very close to the reindeer.
We were very close to the
reindeer. They were cute. They
were
attached to the sled too.
Yeah,
so we saw the reindeer. Yeah, and then we got hungry, so then
we ate the reindeer. And okay, so Finnish people, don't be offended like you were about salmiakki. What is it with you guys and salt? You guys have so much salt on everything.
Yes, we tried reindeer in a hamburger form, and it would be like eating a hamburger, except that it tasted like somebody dumped an entire bucket of salt on it.
It was so
It was
salty.
very hard to eat, but
I like cut the burger in half and then half again, and then just ate it with a bunch of bread, because it was so salty.
But I mean, we tried it, and that was the important thing. Once was absolutely enough for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, it was a little sad eating the reindeer.
Yeah, we ate Rudolph. Poor Rudolph.
It was sad. Yeah. I think it was. Yeah.
So then, after we ate Rudolph, hold on. We did more things.
Oh, we went. Oh, okay. There was another kind of. I don't know what you call it. You could meet Santa again, but it wasn't like his actual house.
Oh, it was his office.
It was his office, which was really cool. And it was a really odd placement for their office, but it was, yeah. But
I don't think that was a part of Snowman World, and I don't think that's actually a part of his village, so I think that was another thing for them to get money on.
Probably.
But
yeah, it was cool. They had different like exhibits and like different displays of Christmases and like different cultures and everything. Cool. So it was really interesting. And then you actually step into his office, and he has like little kids mail or pictures that they drew for him, and he puts them on the walls, which are really cute. And then he has like his coat hanging up and a desk with like letters that he's like writing.
We couldn't take a picture with him because it cost more money, but I asked him we actually had a conversation with Santa that time.
Yeah.
He was cool. He was a very chill Santa Claus. But I asked him if I could like take a picture of the office, and he was like, "Yeah, no problem," And that is going to be the best Facebook cover picture during Christmas.
It's so cute.
Because it is adorable.
Yeah. He's super nice. You can actually stay there, and he goes out and visits all the kids in their like little homes whenever it's at nighttime. So I thought it was really cute. It's a cute idea.
Yeah.
So it was really fun being there. I think the village was like really fun, and I'm really sad we couldn't go to Santa's Park because you can walk underground on the Arctic Circle, but it was sadly closed. And I was really sad about it. But it was a really fun trip.
And then so one of our main purposes of going to Rovaniemi, and one of the things we were most excited about in Finland, was to see the Northern Lights. We were very upset whenever we found out that you don't really see the Northern Lights in Kankaanpää. But so it was our last day, and we were told that if they don't come out by midnight, then you're probably not going to see them, okay? So we're, like, walking around, like, pretty much that entire night, like, going out every half an hour to see if they're out. And then we even, like, walked, I don't know, like, half a mile or, like, a kilometer to, like, this bridge thing to try to see if we could see them. And I was really upset, and it was very sad. We did not see them. And then we go, and it's, like, 2 a.m.?
Yeah, it's about 2 a.m.
We gave up at midnight, okay? We were like, whatever, I don't care anymore. And then randomly, I was like, you know what? Why don't we just go see if they're out there just one more time? It's our last night. So we go out there, and I thought I was going crazy because, I don't know, I thought that I just wanted to see them so bad that I did kind of thing. So then I'm like, is that a green cloud?
It was a green
Sarah,
cloud.
Is that a green cloud? And she was like, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like, wait, like the trees are in the way, so I was like, come on, we'll like walk down the driveway, and then we were like, oh my god, that's definitely green, and we kind of might have started sprinting down the road until like the trees were out of the way, and we ended up. It's another place where you can rent, like, it was like a bed and breakfast, you can rent, like, the places, and it was right on the water, and we, like, literally run almost into the Chinese people that we found there, and I felt a little bad, and we were staring up at the sky, and we're like, oh my god, like, we can see the Northern Lights, so excited, and we were so upset that we couldn't take a picture, like, you can't see it on a phone, but they had a very nice camera, and they so generously let us have some pictures that they took, so that was really exciting. But it was
very interesting trying to get the pictures though, because they spoke like probably just as much English as we speak Finnish. They pretty much told us look, and then Facebook, and then no, and then airdrop, and then Beijing. That's like the only English that they said, and I guess Beijing doesn't even count as English because but so we finally got the pictures, and that was awesome. I don't know, we saw him at the end of the Northern Lights.
Yeah, we still saw them for like at least an hour though.
Yeah.
They were beautiful, so everybody was correct. It is absolutely worth it to go see it. It's one of the coolest things that I've ever seen. Actually, there's really nothing like it. Like, the pictures are nothing like it, but actually experiencing it.
I'd honestly say, though, that the pictures are more vibrant than in reality. Like, I don't know, maybe it was just because it was the end that we saw it, but, like, they weren't that bright. But, I don't know, you could definitely still tell that they were the Northern Lights.
I think the experience is what really makes it, like, that exciting, because it's, like, something that you hear about, and a lot of people really don't get to see it, and it's
It was kind of sad, because none of the, like, locals really cared at all whenever anybody talked about the Northern Lights, or they came out, or anything like that. So, like, you can tell that they're just so used to it that they don't even care, but it really is. It's fantastic to actually see. But the problem with that also was I didn't actually expect to see the Northern Lights, so I didn't put on socks. I also didn't tie my shoes. Actually, fun fact, I was wearing this exact outfit, and this is a short sleeve shirt, and I had barely a jacket on, and we stayed outside in the freezing cold for an hour. And then we stepped in a lot of snow trying to run over Chinese people. And snow went down our boots.
Yeah, but it was completely worth it. It was a great experience.
It was.
Yeah, so that, I mean,
yeah,
it was a great way to end the trip, I think. It was,
yes.
It was nice.
And then we were woken up so early in the morning.
Yeah.
So
it takes a
early.
long time to get there, so it's probably the only time we're ever going to go up there, but it was definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go see them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then we dealt with a 7-hour train ride back. So that was fun too.
Yeah.
So that was our trip to Rovaniemi. Yeah, if anybody's ever in Finland and wants to go somewhere in Finland but doesn't know exactly if they want to go or not, go to Rovaniemi. Be a child and go to Snowman World and Santa's Village.
Nobody's going to judge you because I think there was more adults than children there.
Yes.
And everyone's just super happy. So it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
I would definitely recommend it to everyone.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.